Brains are built on a foundation of early experiences. 90% of brain development happens from birth to age 5. In the first few years of life, more than 1 million neural connections are formed every second. These neural connections, the brain's architecture, are formed through the interaction of baby and her environment and early enriching experiences. These critical interactions with adults lay the foundation for all later learning, behavior, and health. And while genes provide a blueprint for brain architecture, neural connections must be reinforced by repeated use. All children are born with the ability to reach their highest potential. But connections that form early provide either a strong or weak foundation for the connections that form later. Unfortunately, not all children have access to these early enriching experiences. Without consistent and responsive caregiving, the brain architecture does not form as expected and will lead to disparities in learning and behavior. This is why, without intervention in the most critical early years of a child's brain development, we see gaps in disadvantaged children's health and educational achievement. These gaps widen as children grow older, leaving disadvantaged children already up to 2 years behind their higher income peers by age 5. Every child has unique assets and barriers to healthy development and builds their foundation in different environments. So when a child faces challenges throughout their life, the strength of their foundation is what matters the most. If, however, we gave every child what they need to succeed and built their foundation up in their earliest years, they would all be better prepared to withstand the storm. For example, in Ohio, only 40% of kindergartners come to the classroom ready to learn. Therefore, it is no surprise that only 43% of the adult workforce has a post-secondary degree or credential leading to a job available in Ohio today. When a child's health and educational achievement gaps are predictable by race, class, geography, or other social factors, we call them inequities. Who are these children? What do they look like? Where do they live? The mental and physical health, social skills, and cognitive capacities laid in a child's earliest years are all critically important for success in school, the workplace, and the larger community. Achieving equitable outcomes for all children requires investing in those who are more often left behind and giving them what they need to build a strong foundation for lifelong success. Providing high-quality early childhood education for Ohio's most at-risk children during the most critical period of their development yields the greatest return on public investment. The return on public investment in high-quality early childhood programs is upwards of a whopping 13%. Experts conclude that when investments are made early, children are more likely to be kindergarten ready, graduate high school, have higher earnings and better health. And they are less likely to be held back a grade, reliant on public assistance, and engage in criminal behavior. Early childhood education is powerful prevention policy for Ohio's most at-risk kids. Ohio can invest now, or we the state will pay significantly later. Just like we can either pay a few cents for a parking meter or pay for an expensive ticket later, or buy a low-cost smoke detector, or pay to rebuild a home after a tragic house fire. We can similarly invest in quality early childhood education, or pay later in the costly juvenile justice and adult correction systems. Current investments in the education of Ohio's children do not reflect what we know about brain science and the economics of human development. Only 6.3% of state investments in education are spent on children from birth to 5 years old. To improve school outcomes and increase the lifelong success of children, Ohio needs greater investments in high-quality early childhood education for our most at-risk children. It is the proven investment for kids, communities, and taxpayers. It's time to draft a new blueprint for success. Join us.